Hey you guys, back for another beer review. This time it is beer sent to me by the one and only Albino Rhino, so big thanks to him. This is very cool. This is one I've actually wanted to try. It's been sort of in the back of my mind. It hasn't been on like a bucket list or anything like that, but it's one of those ones I've always heard about and I've wanted to try. From the UK, Mackeson Triple Stout it says, although that's a bit of a misuse of the term. It's a milk stout. Original and genuine, it says, established 1742, Mackeson. Best before November of this year. And yeah, 4.9%. Says ingredients: water, malted barley, lactose, which will be important later, hops, sugar, and caramel. So imported by, never mind. Okay, so the interesting about this one is you'll see it's got a triple X on it. Now that might confuse most North American viewers. They see triple X and they assume that means, oh, it's got to be really strong. It's got to be like the cartoony triple X's you see on old moonshine bottles and stuff like that, right? But no, that's not true. The X's were used as a sort of a designation for the strengths of certain beers. And this was established, I guess, in the 19th century. It's only loosely still used correctly. I mean, you'll see it on all kinds of different bottles. Sometimes it's not used correctly, sometimes it is. Bitters were actually a separate category of beer at the time from ales. So ales would have X's on them. Bitters were considered hopped beers, where ales were very lightly hopped, and so you saw X's on it, and it would give you an idea of the strength. Now, anything that had a 1, 2, 3, and I think even a 4X would designate that it was more of a mild ale than anything else. Okay, so you see the triple X there, and that is actually used correctly for this beer. It's a mild ale, but it's a sort of a more of a mid-level mild ale, I guess, in alcohol. So very cool, very neat. I didn't even really know that. I had to do some research. I mean, I vaguely knew in the back of my mind that the X's were used differently than what you might think, but I didn't know the exact. So we're going to get into this. Now, as I said, this has lactose sugar in it. Lactose sugars will not ferment, or most of it will not ferment anyway, so it will leave a residual sweetness to the beer, as opposed to your usual stouts that are usually supposed to be dry, more bitter. So pour that out. Alright. It's very nice. Probably a very deep ruby red or very dark mahogany kind of thing going on there. Nice little head on it. Pretty much a brown head. So we'll go right to the aroma. It's got a bit of a slightly sour creaminess to it. Sort of like Guinness in a way, although Guinness is sort of slight sour note is very, very faint. This is a little bit stronger, and then you're getting a mild coffee, and just a lot of general roastiness of the malts. Maybe a teeny bit of baker's chocolate as well. Smells very nice. Does have has like a feel to it where you smell it, and it does sort of smell like, I guess, lactic would be the way to say it. I guess smelling cream or something like that. It's got that. It's very hard to explain, but it's just got this sort of air to it. All right, so we'll go right to the taste. Cheers. So up front you get the roastiness, you get a little bit of that coffee chocolate kind of thing going on again. And then there's this little bit of, well, not little, fairly nice note of sweetness right in the middle. Kind of sweet, but at the same time a little sour as well. This is that lactic cream sort of thing playing against your tongue. Finishes off with that little teeny bit of like sourness in the back. More roastiness comes up in the back. Yeah, most of the bitterness in this is strictly from the malts. You're not really getting any, I'm not getting anything that would make me think hops necessarily. And it's got about a light medium mouthfeel to it, and it's got a very nice creaminess quality to it overall. It's sort of like coating the mouth. It's very interesting how that sweetness sort of it sits on the sides of the tongue, but at the same time you're getting the dryness and roastiness on the sides of the tongue. It mixes very, very interesting taste. It definitely does not taste like most other stouts. There are parts to this that you just get a little whiff of in Guinness and stuff like that, more highly commercialized stouts. That's very, very nice. Very drinkable. I'm going to have to say, let's pour a little bit more here and think about it. It's not big or complex. It's very nice, simple little stout. Just has a bunch of nice little flavors going on. Makes you want to drink more. Very good. Yeah, I'm going to give it a good solid 3.5 out of 5. I mean, there's nothing amazing about it. It's not an exceptional stout by any means. It's just a very, very nice one. It's a nice little sort of, basically a classic traditional kind of British brew, I guess. It's the impression I get anyway. If I'm wrong, feel free to correct me down there, Brits. It's just very, very nice. Very sessionable, nice. I mean, if I could get this all the time instead of Guinness, this probably would be, well, I guess my session stout is St. Ambrose Oatmeal Stout, but this would be another one I'd get all the time. I like the switch up of flavors. I like how drinkable it is. Alright, so Mackeson, and also tell me if I'm saying that correctly. I want to say Mackeson, but I think it's Mackeson. So Mackeson Milk Stout, that's going to get a 3.5 out of 5 for me. That's a solid 7 out of 10. Very, very nice stuff. Thank you to the Rhino for sending that one. Very cool of him to send that. We'll see you guys again here soon. Bye-bye.